Welcome to SolidCAM Professor. I'm Sydney, your SolidCAM Professor, with one of many videos available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In this session, we'll be showing you how to create drill geometries and how to use all of their options. We'll go into the operation of drilling, and we'll go and create a new geometry. Now, drill geometries are actual points that are found on the part itself where you actually want to drill the hole. To create a drill geometry, we have several options. We can select them by actually picking a position. Now, picking a position will allow me to pick any position, let's say a corner over here, and it'll drill on that point, or any other place I want, it'll drill in those areas itself. Now note, however, when I have a hole, especially a hole that goes through, I can't pick on any point over here. This hole, if I want, I can go in the middle of it and pick out the point that's all the way down at the bottom and choose that as a point. But picking out an actual holes over here, there are different ways that can be done, and we'll show you when we use a different option for drilling out those holes. Now with pick position, we also have an option of actually writing inside this window over here the actual coordinates where you want to actually drill in the part itself. These coordinates are based on the coordinate system that you're working on in this particular case. So for example, if I were to write in here that I'd want to drill in position X of 0, Y also 0, and Z 0 as well, and click on enter, you'll note that in the window on the bottom, I already have my first position, which is the 0, 0 position. If I were to change this now to add another position, say at 0 and 10 in the Y direction, and click on enter, you'll see now that I have another position created over there as well. And I can go on and work this way as well. But of course, there are a lot easier ways to create it, but sometimes this is also necessary to create a drill geometry, and this option is available for those particular cases. Now, I have two drill points that I've created over here. If I want to get rid of them, I can just right-click on it and say delete that particular one, or delete all, and all of them will be deleted. Now let's go to a different option called 3 points on circumference. 3 points on circumference is when I have a specific hole. Let's say I have a hole like this, which sometimes gets imported, and it's not really a hole, but it's rather several points as shown over here. So I cannot pick the center of that. However, what I can do is pick 3 points on the circumference, and that'll automatically give me the center. So if I were to choose the option of 3 points on circumference, you can see at the very bottom over here, it says pick first point. I'll pick my first point over there. Now it says pick second point. I'll pick a second point over there. And now I'll pick my third point, say over here. And that'll automatically give me the center. As we know, when we have 3 points, there's only one center that can be created from the arc that's being created from those 3 points. Now we'll take a look at our multi-position, which is actually the most commonly used option for creating drill geometries. I'll go into multi-position. Now, multi-position allows me to pick a specific surface, and it'll automatically give me all the holes on that particular surface. For example, if I were to click on this surface over here, it'll automatically choose all of the holes that are on that particular surface. Now, you'll note that these holes are different diameters. We'll talk about that in a few moments as to how we can filter them out. Now, also with multi-positions, one hole, all I have to do is click on the wall or the edge of that particular hole over there. If I were to click on this, for example, I'd get the center of that. Let me delete what I've created over here. And do the same thing now with this hole. If I want to use only specific holes in here, I can just click on the inside of that one, and that one. And this way I can pick those holes out individually. Now let's say I want to drill holes in these corners over here. If I were to click on this surface, you'll note it did not take any of those holes. From this we can see that it only takes, in this particular case, holes that are complete, such as these. These are complete holes over here. This is not a complete hole over here. This shows a part of the hole, an arc. But if in any case I still want to create a hole over here, what we can do is use the filter called Include Arcs. If I were to click on Include Arcs and now click on this surface over here, it'll choose all of the arcs that are on that surface. However, you'll note that the arcs that were chosen was not only this arc over here and over there, they also chose these arcs as well. So there's another filter I can use. Let me just undo what I've done before, and note I have an undo button over here that if I click on it, it undoes the last step that I did. Now the other filter I can use over here is, instead of choosing what we have here, all circles, I can choose the option of by radius to pick only arcs that have a specific radius. Now, which radius do I want? I want this radius over here. Now I can write in the value over here, or I can click this button and just click on that radius to get the value of that radius inside over here. Now when I click on the surface, you'll note that it'll only pick out those 4 corners over there, not choosing these over here. Now we saw before that if I click on this surface, all of these holes were taken. Now I don't want all of these holes because it's different diameters. So I'll get rid of what I did over here and go back to my filters, and again I can use the option by radius. For example, if I want to choose these holes only, I'll click on by radius and choose that particular hole over there, and it'll put in the value of that hole over there. Now when I click on that surface, it'll only pick those 3 holes as shown over here. And I can do the same for each one of these sets of holes by creating a filter with only that particular radius. Now I'd like to show you the option of all circles and centers. And we'll choose the option of all circle arc centers. If I were to choose that option, we have a button that is now activated over here. By clicking on this and keeping this at all circles, it'll pick out every single hole that I have on the part over here. And note that it even picked out these corners because the bottom of that part, that particular hole, is a complete hole. Now, we also have a set of filters that can help me pick out the different holes over here on different levels. For example, I want you to pick out all the holes that are on this level over here. Note I clicked on Z level and that value went in over there. Now when I click on all circles and arc centers, it'll only pick out those holes over there. I can also go back, do undo. I want to do everything that's on the 0 level. So I can go back over here, write 0, and I only want to pick out these over here that have this particular diameter. So I can go in here and choose the option of by specific radius instead of all circles. Go into by radius and click on this over here. Click on all circle centers. And now everything that has that particular radius, plus it's also on that level, will be picked out. If there was another hole that was with that same diameter, but on a different level, it did not pick those out. Now, one more option that we have over here is also by using CAD selection. By using CAD selection, I can actually go into the manager of SolidWorks and choose from my SolidWorks tree as well. For instance, I can choose the feature I've created for the tapped holes as shown over here. Go to resume, and you'll see it'll automatically put in the ones for the tapped holes inside my geometry window over here. For more videos on SolidCam Professor, please go to our website, www.solidcam.com, and look for the tab called SolidCam Professor. Thank you for joining us on SolidCam Professor. Take care and have a nice day.